These are my green beans. Variety is called Prevail. And we're going to do a green bean harvest. This is 2 plants in one little pot here, as you can see. And they wick nutrient up from underneath here. This is the beans in this row. I've got, it looks like 6 of these. The ones closest to the sunnier part over here produced better beans, more beans, and that just kind of makes sense. The other still did produce, as you can see there and there. I want to see how long I can keep them producing, so in order to do that you have to pick them, because the plant is trying to set seed to preserve itself, and that's what we eat. So when we pick, the plant will go to trying to produce more. I'm always interested in the roots as I do these things. You can see here, this is the entire root system of 2 plants. I always think it's going to be a whole lot more than it is, and I think that's because the plant gets everything it needs, so it just doesn't have to send out a whole lot of roots. Now up here closer to the top you get a little bit more white roots. They're not touching the water, wicking the solution up, and the solution is discolored, and I believe that's why these roots are discolored. They're not slimy, they're fresh feeling, and they're just discolored. If you look at the fruit and the leaves, there's obviously no damage whatsoever. They're pristine. Now, this little bit of mark here is from the milk I was spraying to control powdery mildew on the squash above it. But other than that, everything looks wonderful. I've had to take some tomato twine here, and I used 1 clip. I wrapped it into the cage, and that is to support the weight of these plants. They were tipping over, plus it helps keep them more closer to the buckets and less out of the rows, because these things break really easy. You walk past them, you'll snip it right off, and you lose some production that way. But yep, that's what I did. I just took some tomato twine and secured it to the cage there to hold the fruit up. One of the things I'm doing is I'm hard trimming. I'm cutting the plant way back after the first harvest. I want to see how it responds. And I'd heard that if you do this, they will become really aggressive and put on new leaves, new fruit, and all that. I did try it in the garden. It was either last year or the year before, and almost all the plants died. But I removed all the leaves. In this particular case, I left some on, so we'll see how that goes. I trimmed 3 of these 5 pots back, and I left this one to go to seed. There's a lot of good, healthy, bigger pods on this one, and I want to get some seed. So this particular plant, or bucket, is for seed. Succession planting is the key, so I've got 2 more buckets of beans going here, and each one of those has 4 in it, and I may increase that later on. We will see how that goes. And this one over here, I've got them just starting to germinate. This is the haul. It's not much, but it's a meal. Let's put a weight on this bad boy. Almost half a pound. So that's it, guys, harvesting the green beans.